Hello there, welcome to Trade Spotting, where we talk about financial freedom and GameStop and AMC, along with anything else you'd like me to take a look at. And I'll answer any questions you might have. Normally, I'd be on the bigger screen. Hi, everybody. Please hit that like button, and I'll get into the charts. The charts! I'll actually just sort this out a little bit here while I'm here. So feel free to ask me any questions and whatnot. Like, why is that big bar on your face? Anything like that. Whatever takes your fancy. How is everybody? I noticed 50% of people had hit the like button there. I thought that was interesting. Other 50% waiting for something special. You know, if you're watching on a television, you can just push the up button and then go along and then click like. Love the haircut. Feels like you're about to kick our heads in. Or oof. Yeah. Thanks. Appreciated. Yeah, the haircut. Right. Enough of that. And this is a GME. As we know, it's the same old story. Romeo loves Juliet. Juliet loves GME. But GME loves the chat. And isn't really interested in all that pish at the minute. So there's a flash on the 15 minutes on GME at 212 spot 5. We're currently at 211 spot 22. Does that mean that we don't need to panic yet? Is that the life raft? Genuinely like the haircut, man. Thanks, H. Sherlock Holmes, what's up, good people? There's only Josh and ya. That's cool. Is he muted? No, he's not muted. Oh, he's not muted. Super chat. Wow, 99.99. We're spying on you. Oh, how lovely. Well, I do like the company. To be alone is one thing. To feel alone is double. Sarah, rara, rara. How's it going, everybody? How you doing, Chris? Nevening, Edinburgh. Nevening, Neil. Nevening, Neil. Yeah, it's tough, eh, getting the old bap chap nowadays. Like, who can you trust nowadays? What? Where do you even go? What do they know? What's that? Eh? Your hairdresser? How long have you been cutting hair? We don't even cut hair any longer. Oh. So you're looking at this and you're thinking, hey, like earlier on, I got a couple of messages about it when GME came in and touched that 208, the low for today, 208.00, where I said, we'll get the low for today, yesterday, in between saying how I get the prices right all the time, which is what's happened again. Did we catch her at 208? The fuse on this powder kick is getting shorter and shorter. The question being, is this the low? Well, I suspect that there's a couple of other areas you might get bargains in the not so distant future, potentially. Right, this would be the most nicest one. In advance of that, do we go higher? If this is an inverted head and shoulders at the bottom of the trend, having caught the first support level, which is where we thought you would see some sort of activity, and it does if it puts in this 212.50 and comes back up, breaks this downward sloping resistance, which I would suggest comes in this sort of fashion here. So breaking back up above 218 at the minute would be very positive. Then you could look to your 50 period. But as you can see on that 15 minute, there's a death cross coming in with a 50 going below the 200. Simple pure moving average. And there's a horizontal level of resistance just up there. So you're hoping to break two things that would be difficult and a big ask. You'd also be breaking above horizontal levels that are important, breaking above this previous high on the wick. And I don't know if you've got the sign that that'll happen with your DMI losing that fight and your RSI not managing to recover above the center line on these smaller time frames, which speaks to what's going on the hourly, where you see us persisting in and around here. I mean, it's sneaked above this bearish control zone, but it's below again its own moving average, and the negative trend is winning. Close the gap there. Hourly, what else is there to talk about here? You've had your positive cross, price action came back down. So far it looks like a failure. You're persisting below the 200 period moving average. If we're to put the Bollinger Bands on, you can see that the 208 level has been touched once. That'll mean that the Bollinger Bands on the lower side don't necessarily come up much higher than that. Top side, sure, you've got this wick high, and that'll present a range. And so in the hourly, if you see opens and closes below 208, then you're next up to the 4 hour resistance here, your 200 period moving average at 192, and then the in around 200, as well as having a horizontal level from this low, looking left a number of highs. You've also got bottom side of a Bollinger Band on this time frame, and psychological level of around $200, right? Which I disdain at that type of trading, but it will be that some people buy it there just because it's 200 again. It's only when it goes over these levels and then you test them and then it's significant, or when you do it over high time frames, you put like weekly closes in up at new highs, things like that. But like buying at 200 just because it is 200 is I would suggest that that's not really the low, right? It might just be down where horizontals suggest it would be, which start around 198 and go down to 196, that sort of zone. And then you've got your 200 coming in at an horizontal that's interesting between 190 to 192. So you're thinking possibly it goes there. And like I say, if you don't hold the 200 period moving average, then you're looking to long-term horizontals on the 4 hours. Sure, you could check them, but it'd be more interesting to see where they are on the daily time frame. It's down at the 200 period at 180, and then the next one's at 169 to 170, and they're the two levels that you're looking at on the daily time frame, asking can you get a higher low, having put in this higher high, which is what we've been asking for ages. So there's literally no reason for anxiety. Everything's totally cool. This is the best TA on this asset that you're likely to see. Has been for ages. Hit a like button. It just is just good shit. Good shit. I can't control price action, but I can tell you how it's going and whatnot. And then let's do a little bit of looking at these indicators, seeing how price action's gone, and asking, does this look like a low based on the activity they've experienced throughout the day? And which we need to hit the auto button down here, get a little bit of a bigger picture of what we were thinking yesterday in the TA. Potential for this to form an inverted head and shoulders at the bottom of the trend. Measured move where that would take you to smaller levels of resistance on the way, 222 to 224, and then up at 230 and change. Break that, you're looking left to these horizontal levels. And then topside resistance up at around 255, 256. That would be where I'd look to if you break this level, 230. While there are other levels along the way, they're largely insignificant with regards to trend or structure and formation. And I also don't put that much enthusiasm on the idea that we're even going to break 230, like I've been saying for whatever, right? You've probably heard it. So you're slowing these 1 minute time frame. You can see the other idea here with horizontals. If you like, this right hand shoulder's red because it's important and you're already outside of that, what I would ideally like to see it at. Though, you could absorb anything that's higher than 208. And then you don't hold that level, you broke this, that speaks to the other side of the trend, down at 198, 196. And then, don't want to focus too much on these things. But that's the horizontal levels over and above the hard range that you see ourselves in from these highs and lows in this little period of price action on 24th or so. So back in time, we're going back in time. Boom. Trace button. If we hit the golden pocket at 197, do you think we'll fill the gap at 177? The gap, Dan, I suspect the gap on the hourly time frame at 172 to 174 is the important area to look to. Do I think that'll happen? I suspect markets have closed there, post-market. So the closing price today, 211.78. Not bad. And the closing price on AMC, 38.89. Down 0.69%. Porcupine pose. What is a porcupine pose? Huh? What is that then? Posing? Never heard of it. So what were we going to do? We were going to go back in time. Yeah, let's do it then. Where was it started today? Is this it? Yep. I really need to get more sleep then. What does that mean? Bling bling. What does that bling bling mean? No idea what that means. Be friendly with the likes that he loves. Happy Thanksgiving, America. Okay, this wrist book is so good. Still hate math though. Mathematics. So 1 minute time frame there. You had that push towards top side, trying to get up towards that little lookout called flash. And here we are now back in time at the start of today or the end of yesterday. Anyway, regardless of where it was, turn off that adjusted for earnings. And hit a play, see what price action did across the indicators and what that speaks to with regard to trend and strength. So, play then. So I give me. I didn't go back in time yet. Why are you not going back in time? Brew Lee, hey Jimmy. Wow. Can we look today at MLS system from Poland? They made it first in the world, as they say, glass that can produce electric energy like solar panels. Also PKN, if we would have time, oil company investing in SMR. Yeah, we can. Thank you very much, gentleman Brew Lee. How are you? What were those tickers? MLS. Which is it from Poland? Is it traded on like, what exchange is it traded on? And also PKN, who are investing in SMR. Sure thing, Brew. What exchange are they on? I'll definitely do that. Thank you, good sir. I'm very good. Great to hear. Available on IBKR. What a lovely little exchange broker they are too, huh? So cute and comfortable and easy and cozy, isn't it, when you're using that platform? Thanks very much for that generous donation. It's appreciated. It's on the GPW. Okay, thanks. Lipton. What did Lipton say? Ghost of West Gladstonian message deleted. Why'd you delete your message? No trad tomorrow. No trad. No trad. No trad. I might be around tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows, eh? You tell me. Do you want to see me? Shall we be around? Would anyone be wanting to tune in? Anyway, so we were going to do this, were we? Or could we just skip that and do AMC instead? Let's do that. AMC. Below the center line there, 1 minute time frame. We're not interested in that. We're looking at the daily time frame and work our way back down again because we did it. Because we feel like it. That's why. You got your flash down there, interesting. You got your D point up there, that's interesting. So top side of this, you're looking at our. I just went back in time on this chart. Oh my goodness, excitement! Just stop doing that though. We'll just play then. We're in real time now. Excellent. So the bottom side of this, $10. Is it going to $10 or is it going up here to $77? Testing its all-time high. When it gets there, what's it going to do from there? Is it going to go down to $10? Or is it going to go on from there and test up at these higher levels around 130, 140, $150? 100% increase on its previous high. Well, that's the question, right? Is it going to $10 or is it going to $150? That's the question for AMC. Diamond Nuts Grillionaire. I tune in to see your beautiful face. Ah, thanks. Out of Pi Fi into trade spot and for the after party. To after party. Apparently it only takes 15 minutes, 2 libraries and 2 Python scripts to make your own ERC20 token. How is this not considered monopoly money? Well, yeah, sure, there are tens of thousands of cryptocurrencies. It's about developing one that has a business purpose, of which there's, considerably few. Those business purposes, though, are incredibly important. And there's shitloads of money already in the system. Some of them use, like remittance, the anti-inflationary aspect to the larger ones, and the security within the exchange of that currency and its own blockchain technology, whichever one it's using, and also like the speed of transactions and whatnot. And there's loads of inherent benefits to those that are done well. Just an ERC20 token that it's going to spend its life as an ERC20 token with no extraneous purpose or intrinsic value, yeah, sure, that's just nonsense. Some of them are just branding. And for a while there, it was all about like just the founder and if what their personality was like, seemed to me. But yeah, there are a number of them that have got real potential. Why am I answering that? What am I even talking about? Tracepoint, you're well, mate. Hope you're well, mate. I am, thank you. Looking very Judd Trump from the snooker with the new hairdo. Thanks. Keep up the good work, mate. Keep me sane, waiting to be picking up higher before I knew where to buy. Well, you're all sorted now. Thanks very much for the nice message, Chris. Netty Potato, missed live stream yesterday. Got a compliment, handsome haircut, Tracepoint. Thank you. I've actually had it for 14 months and nobody noticed. Crazy, innit? I'm going to go make delivered eggs and listen. Deviled eggs. Food. I think I might have ordered food earlier. Did I? I can't remember now. Right, so they were on AMC. We were talking about daily time frame. We're talking about those big ranges there. $150, $10 currently at 38.89. Horizontal levels already marked out in the chart. Potential harmonic. Should it continue towards the D point is above us. That itself would be a large W. Might think that's positive. But unfortunately, this particular harmonic does suggest prices would collapse at that area. So let's bear it in mind. Does it even get there? Well, you've got this downward sloping supply line, which has come in, proved to be relevant on the daily time frame. Going to give those hedges a Scottish kiss eye. $100. $100. Looks like £2. Says $100. Going to give those hedges a Scottish kiss. Yeah. Well, is it not a Ouija? A Glasgow kiss is what we call them here in Edinburgh. I've given a number and I've had more. This tooth is dead. And one of the times I had this broken was a different Glasgow kiss, I think. Pretty sure it was. Yeah. Just the old friendly hello, isn't it? Everyone can cook their specialties. Yay, toasted cheese. I'm fantastic at it. Pratik Patel. Happy early Turkey Day to you and the Doomslayers. Have had a hard time watching the stream live due to working. But thank you, Jamie and Rocky, for putting out epic TA every day. Thank you very much, Pratik. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks. Chris Chambers, welcome to Chimp. Wow. Amazing. Is that real or is it just an anniversary? No, it's real. Wow. Thanks, Chris Chambers. Mucho apreciado. You get a headband. And after a number of months, that changes colour. Eventually, if you stay on there and don't get liquidated, after 90% of others would have, you'll have a red headband, which would be interesting. Don't think anyone's got one yet. Katie. So, scones. Oh, yeah. Well, I do make particularly good scones. That's true. I was only joking. I make loads of nice things. In a fancy new to her Scottish castle, of course you can. And I want a Scottish castle. You get one for £6 million. Like one that's not far away from where I am at the minute, so I can still like take care of, do my responsibilities, and but also have a cat. So if you're very, very, very rich and feeling very, very, very generous, just buy me one of them. That'd be great, wouldn't it? And you can come and stay anytime you want. So, yay! So, thanks. What am I talking about that for? I just watched Tracepoint 2 and now I'm afraid to go to Edinburgh. Yeah, it's very much like that. Am I red yet? Nope, you're green. I think that's a green. No, it's a purple. Ooh. Is it a purple? I can't actually tell because I have a coloured light. I think it's a coloured light shining on it. Somebody's going to have to tell me. Is that a purple? Okay, I forgot about your new abode. Oh, congratulations on the new abode. Cocoa. Yeah, I don't cook cocoa though, Kim. Don't be so crazy, Kim. Kim, look at me. Blue. Oof, that's high. That's a very high up the list of blue ones. Sorry for being absent from class, sir. Chimp for 6 months. Well, a H. It's okay. If you've been busy, it's okay. You've got time to make up for it. Shadow of Lepton, trade spotting, blue cheese. Trade spotting. Glad to be on board, mate. Excellent. from Glasgow. Oh, you'll know exactly what we're talking about with the wee smooches earlier. And get a wee pint in after Moas. Oh, a wee pint, a cheeky wee one, being a lurker, but not fair, not paying my way, mate. Great tea and content. That's very generous and a nice message too. Cheers, Chris. Thanks. How's it in Glasgow? Not so bad in Edinburgh at the minute. It's quite warm. I was surprised. I want a black band. Black. Whoa. YouTube will have to update their facilities for that. Or perhaps I remove a different level and put that one on there. It might be possible. Today's one out. I've been busy, you bozo. Don't worry. Good. Well, get a sun lamp, Katie. Yeah, we'll just get a sun lamp, Katie. All right. Dapper gentleman. Tess. Hello. I'm stopped reading messages. I was doing AMC to you. Yes. Thanks. They were all lovely messages. Nice chatting with you guys. Thanks, Chris. Up here at the D point, you're looking for this. Also the shame, the great motivator there, which was obviously implicit in Chris's message about, lurker, not fair, www.patreon.com/tradespotting is also, just saying, right? Also links in description. Hey, what was that? So 16182, this larger move here, where would that take you to? Right, okay, yeah, we had this already over 137. Yeah, so there's all those different areas above, all those different areas below, but nobody really cares about that because you're looking at these things and you're thinking, do we continue this upward sloping trajectory with this demand line, having tested this downward sloping supply line, which would suggest there is legitimacy to this formation, that being a bullish one and likely prices going to the top side. So that'd be very interesting. You've got the 200 period moving average on the daily time frame, which hasn't been tested yet, despite this thing having had a blow off top, created all-time highs, and then us being months and months and months later, not having yet broken that previous area of resistance that we put in at that high. Not even really getting close to it, I would say, from any significant perspective, not at all, right? Not so significant perspective, from any sensible perspective, you would say we haven't got to within a significant distance to say that anything even remotely as bullish as that was on the cards soon. But that is a bullish formation you're in here, considering where you've come from, especially, and as such, you're paying attention to this demand line. That would be like the psychology I would expect from most market participants at this stage. And then the horizontal levels we've drawn in here, this one's obviously proved to be the body close. Wow. On the daily time frame, that would be good enough if you could do that. We've also got the wick low today at 37.55 with this horizontal line, and the top side of that move was your 50 period moving average below the 8, below the basis line of this Bollinger Bands at the moment, with the lower side of that coming in at 35, 34.50. Turn those Bollinger Bands off so it's slightly clearer. 200 period moving average, as we said, on the dailies down here at $30. And not having tested a 200 period moving average on a daily time frame, having gone through a blow off top and still looking for it to go further, right? I'd say that's...
They said to the Snorkel Repair Fund, I and #39 am thankful for all the hard work you do every day. You and your brother are noble inspirations and should feel proud of your accomplishments this year. Everyone in chat as well, sign of the horns turkey.
Thanks, Corey. It's appreciated. Happy Thanksgiving. You're a very good guy. Thanks. Yes, Andy, I appreciate you all chat. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody. So you're looking at this and you're thinking, yes, I've got a sensible perspective on technical analysis. I'm going to take that and manage my risk accordingly. You're looking at this demand line hoping it proves to be interesting. Look left, that's 786 of this previous Fibonacci, 886 down there at 35. That's saying, like I say, it's still not at the 200 period moving average. Itself's only moving up like cents every day. So, and that's $5 away, that low you're talking about from where it is at the minute, which, at what, 10 cents a day, and you're looking at it to go $5, right? That doesn't mean that you're going to go up to the top side anytime soon. That's what I would say, right? That's what I would say. Until such times you do something else good. And at the minute, that's what you're looking at, because you're below the 50 period moving average, right? Which, you've only been below it a little bit, having been in this whole thing for so long. You've only really been in here a little bit and that, but it's like, aye, all recently the way. And so every time you go above it, you can't break horizontal levels. Like not even the horizontal levels that you would be looking to break up here at $55, but even the downward sloping horizontals, right? You're not breaking it yet. So like this is not to dull your enthusiasm or to have any. I can't drive the price of things anyway. I just want everybody to be realistic, right? And so on this level here, you're thinking, right, $35. This is what you're thinking, and you're hoping that this 200 period fucking moving average hurries up, or you go like, right, well, it's very bullish, right? It's very, very, very bullish. So maybe we'll go down to the 4 hour time frame. Now you've got this 200 period moving average issue here where it's going through like a potential golden cross because it had a spurt up previously. Like it previously had this move up here. This price action is what's causing that golden cross. We're below that, right? So this is crossing and price action's actually below it, and you're hoping for a positive cross. But in the very first instance, that you're like, this is a race or whatever, you're betting on some guy who's like starting 100 yards back behind everybody else. It's like, right, that's analogous for how this is a shit cross and might not even happen. Price action has caught a horizontal level here. It needs to be above 39.44.45, right? It needs to be above this 8 period moving average, and that itself needs to have a positive slope, which won't happen in any one set of 4 hour. You're also below the center line on your RSI. You're below your own moving average. You have actually already touched the bearish control zone and got a completely anemic response just before that, but it was, in fact, significantly before it. You got your signal here. You've got a tiny positive slope on the ADX, which speaks to the negative side of things. All of that's coming in, having put in 3 most recent peaks. Ouch, right? That's not great news. And potentially, it looks like it's rolling over to me, right? Also, this is a reaction from a low here. Like this bullishly divergent low allows us to draw in this Fibonacci from, I mean, like you could go to there, right? But it's not all that different from here. And then we took it up to this high. That's that one. Great. So your 786, your 886. You know, you're getting that far back on this move. If this move fails, this move, which was bullishly divergent here, and people were looking left thinking, oh, this is a higher low, and it was a good buy at the time. If this starts to look like a weak, which it does when you start breaking like these levels, this was already a retracement below the golden pocket of what ultimately proved to still be that high, right? That first retrace so deep. And then when you go back up, we did this as well, didn't we? This Fibonacci, when you draw it in, oh, that's that one. Yeah, where are you, Fibonacci tool? If you take it in here and say from this low, drag this across. 386 is up here. I know the numbers are all now confusing because they're on the left-hand side of these particular bars, but you aren't managing to get above the 236, having gone up and gone to the golden pocket and come back down again. You're now not managing to get above the 236. That's like crap. Hey, like it's super crap. Having just been here and touched it led to that wick, which was the psychology behind that move was all like this, right? You're not holding this 236. You're not holding this level here. Tested that low once. This is your reaction, eh? Like, bear with me. Hello. Oh, did you get to the arches at the Royal Mile? Pardon me, I'm back. So where were we? Right, this was a bearish wick, and this is a shit cross. And the 4 hour didn't add anything positive, and you can see the negative trend is still winning, and you need your RSI to start recovering. On the hourly time frame down here, you did have a number of touches in around that level, perhaps like that. You could take it down and say, 1, 2, 3, 2 touches that soon, both back into the bearish control zone. Not even managing to recover a 786 overall. Let's take that on. See, this is your low. There's your 236 here. There's your golden pocket. 41.16. Like AMC really needs to start opening and closing 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily candles above 41 and change, and not going back below it. It really needs to start doing it, and it's not doing it at the minute. Not doing it in the near future either. Like, it's recovered its own moving average, and it's taken this potential move out of the bearish control zone, but like, it doesn't look like it's going to do very well when it hits the center line if something doesn't happen. Yeah, sure, it did it once there. Here again, bullish divergence. A touch of it. You need to recover the 236. If you can do that, then you're aiming for 41 and change. So that's what it looks like. Maybe the end of the week pushes to there, but I won't bank on it. 15-minute time frame. You can see you've been in this area for a while. It doesn't scream opportunity. You have recovered your center line and moving average. You've got a potential area, sign of volatility coming in, and all of that's happening down here at support. So is it distribution? We'll see, right? This looks potentially bearish. Higher high on RSI. Context of a downtrend. Not higher high on price. So there's that to look at. MLS. MLMSing. There it is. How you doing, MLS? It's a Thanksgiving, did you know? 8-period moving average on the smaller time frames. Looks like it's had a nice day today. Daily, there it is. It's a wick. It's a wick at the top there. Is it? Thanks, Kim, Lisa. Love. See you all soon. Trace Point, James. Speak to you tomorrow. Awesome. Big love. Thanks. What time is it now? Good evening. Go away, Boris. Get the fuck off my screen. Thanks, H. So this is on the daily time frame, potentially a shooting star. You've come up here, hit your 179 period moving average is where your body's managed to close below. And that speaks to a secret. 200 period moving average up here at 119 and change well. Are you going there? If you open and close enough above your 50, and sure, you will eventually. Daily time frame, let's see what's going on. Number of volatility flashes on this, I can tell. $70. What stage in this lifetime was that? Happy Thanksgiving. You want to have a look at LRC? Could possibly get around to that. What could possibly. So this, at the moment, what we're looking at here is for Bruley. It's called ML System, producer, manufacturer, building products. Okay, building products. Okay. MLS System SA engages in the design, engineering, and production of building interpreted photovoltaic cell systems. It operates through yada yada blah blah blah. Photovoltaic. This low came in on the 9th of March 2020. That was the all-time low for this thing. Rathana Mengs. When GME, $300 again. I'll have a quick look at that in a second. 300 to GME. It's a mark from Rafano. Thanks for the donation. Yeah, I'll look at it in a moment. So, right, that was that back then. Since then, very, very positive move. Come back and you're just below your 236. You drop down, tested what? Nothing really here on daily time frame. And you're currently persisting below the 236, which is also in and around this 50 period moving average. And when you zoom in, you can see that you've got a potential shooting star should price action tomorrow. The body of tomorrow's price action open below 106.2. 106.2 is currently at 107. And its low from today was at 105.2. So, potentially that could look like a really negative candle on the daily time frame. And it has failed to break a horizontal. And if we're taking it from this drop down area, you won't have broken the 0.886. I mean, even if you probably take it from these highs here, right? Even then, you've not broken your 886. Niels van der Graaf, hi mate, could you please look at Soul? It's a ripping hard. Also think it's solid fund, only 200 million market cap, 5k TPS, same as Ava Whoop. It's 20 billion market cap. Cool, have a look at it. Soul. No problem. So the 886 didn't manage to break that. You got through your 236. That was like rank. All of this price action is rank. Hasn't managed to break through there. Accumulating on the RSI. That's very positive. Positive trend here. ADX pointing up. That's very positive. That's all very good. But you've not broke the 886 and you've put in a potential, right? So it's warning. That said, should it now open a daily candle, open daily candles above 109.8, then I'd see it test the 200 period moving average. For sure it would. Right? It would want to. It's not on the horizontal. It's like, it's your 1272, so it's the first extension on the move. It's the 200 period moving average. It's this horizontal high from this wick. And it's the next level to look to should you break this this resistance. So, I mean, that's what you'd think. Above that, you'd be looking 168. Look left, it's the next high here. And you could draw your other Fibonacci's on and they'd be important levels. It's fairly obvious. 214, but I wouldn't pay attention on that. I'd look to these body closes. I think that's likely where you get your wicks. Should it go beyond it? Is that a gap? No. So I'd put that in there. Maybe, interesting. That's interesting, that level. So what do I think about this? Where is that? So up 150. That'd be, I wouldn't go any look higher than a move like that from here, but that's not really the question at the minute. You're below the 236. This is important about this one, probably. This being below the 236 here. Even if you're not 170, you are by 20 cents. That's your list first level above at 120. This thing's a little bit dodgy. You've had your death cross there on the daily, and prices have not tested the 200 since, and it still has a positive cross. So there is also opportunity to be spoken about there, even just with the idea of going up to, this horizontal and no further at 117, 118. But we don't see it yet. You have come so low so many times. The RSI has now made it into the bullish control zone. That's positive. So interesting that that's happened. But you've made it to this level and turned around a number of times, like since last summer or the start of this summer. You made it up once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and every single time it's been in a downtrend. While your RSI has been going up, that does speak to the potential for accumulation. Perhaps there is some stock operation operating correctly on this thing, and in which case that's like you're still then you want them to take you up. I mean, you're not going to pay for it, so you're either buying it, and you always want to buy at support. So, and there's currently these levels above your resistance and the support below you. It's been tested so very often, and you are now at a high in terms of the RSI. So, and when I say high, normally you'd be delighted about the fact that it's making it in a bullish control zone, but this is an adapted indicator. that helps for more realistic profit taking and more sensible entries. That's the philosophy behind why the adaptations were made to this. And it shows you that this thing like regularly fails at this level, has done for ages. So, despite the fact that there is a degree of bullishness about the RSI, there's also like that, not so sure. And you can see the same things happened here on the DMI, where you've got up to historical levels, up there at 38. That's where the DI positives turns around. It's done it a number of times. ADX is still going strong and pointing up. So I'm going against what like I might, my edge would also be looking for in an ideal situation. I'm kind of discounting it because the nature of how this has performed for so long, and like that's the idea. You don't want to buy at resistance, and that, even if it ultimately proves to be a good trade, it's not necessarily good trading. And the best situation then is for you, if you wanted to go long on this thing, is it holds the 236 should it get there again at $95.20 or something. But should it just come back down to test the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour time frame, that's a golden pocket. That would be a retrace down to an area that was previously resistance, and you could confirm it as support and go on, especially the 200 gets a positive slope on it. But your 50 is below the 200, has been for ages. And you yourself have made it above the 50, not made it above the 200 on this time frame for a while. That took you up to that 150 level. And so, do you go there again? Not really from here. It doesn't look like it, you know. This doesn't speak super positive. Perhaps though it's an ascending triangle, like, not really, eh? Tough. It's made a big move there from 92 to 109 relative to its own previous range, but it's done that a number of times too recently. And this may have petered out, may have done so. Might still be going, let me see. Not that, that's the wrong one. Just need to upgrade my own trading view. Should have done that earlier today. Well, this is what we've got Bollinger Bands on at the minute, so we'll slap them on. These are not contracted, obviously, because the volatility and range has increased. Not managed to close outside the top part of it yet. Basis line doing alright. I mean, it's hard to speak against this at the moment, you know. 4 hours opening above the golden pocket, enough times for that to be significant too. Above the 8 on the hourly, and you've got the golden cross come through. Price action has now managed to confirm that at least. Above the basis line, looking at the top side of this thing, 109.4, that's where you know you don't want to buy it at resistance though, so you'll have to hope that it opens and closes daily time frames up above here, confirms it as support, and then you'd look at trading to try and enter it, or he comes back down to test something like the 236 or the 50-200 period moving average there on the 1 hour, maybe down here 99.44 or the 50 periods on the 4 hour. What was that at? Was it 90? That was at the same place. So $99. Daily time frame says 97.4. You don't want to start closing anything below there, so that would be another one that's 382. And maybe you get a wick down to the 236 again. A number of them still in this range. Then you're like, I'm not sure how amazing that is. Should Brewdog go IPO? HL ads asked me to sign up. Hey, how grieving lines? H&L have asked you to sign up to as a shareholder or what? What IPO? What should Brewdog do it? Brewdog, are they not here in Edinburgh? Is where they're started, isn't it? Brewdog. Brewdog, hey, you know, they're a growing company and they've got teeth and pains. And here in Edinburgh, where it's, I think if it is the same company, right, which are quite, they're doing very well. They've We've got teething problems, and it's quite obvious. You know, like they're doing well in that, and they've got investment, and it's a great idea, and their operations are quite good. But there's every so often I get the impression they need a good American shake, like they really do. So should they IPO? I couldn't give a fuck. Like like it's all well and good in that, but like I think some of the sheen's losing the sheen. It's like come up, they need something to put it back in there. And I'm in Edinburgh. GME working hard till the last minute. Boom, Pete Diaz. You're right. Not a dog, not a cat. Brewdog. Should they do IPO? I don't know. If they do, there'll be plenty of trade in there. You know, opportunity, market potential, that sort of thing. And perhaps that's the question. But I think they need to do like, yeah, sure, cool, and that, and then they should aim higher, and in doing so, they'll have to try a lot fucking harder. What do I think's happening here? I think it's like filing at the 886, and I think you're looking for a golden pocket, a 200 period, or a slightly lower area to take it. Or if that doesn't happen, you're looking for this to open and close significant candles here so that you can aim to 119. The move may have already happened by then. Is it bullish and so on? Well, this potentially is accumulation. It would be kind of counter trend, and it wouldn't be at the horizontal you might necessarily expect to see that happen at, which would make me wonder who it is that's buying. Largely, like probably smaller accounts that can't persist to be the case forever and ever. At some point, that'll turn to distribution. Is it at this high here? Is it at this mid level on the 168 and way back up? Or does this continue a positive trend because somebody somewhere knows that technology they've got is very, very important? And the question at this stage is, well, how long's the company been around? And the fact that it's been going up for so long in terms of trend, you know, it's been around since 2018, 2019, hasn't yet been destroyed. But then again, like, speculation on this thing likely was what drove this move. An inverted end shoulders, nope, not the end of a trend. Constantly trading a hard range up until the 28th of June. It was from this low that it's got its move. And like, so I don't know. I mean, they've got like a good idea, a good name, a good. There's ideas got a little will attract attention to the name and that, but like this is a divergent high here, and so a retrace to at least the 200 period moving average on the daily. You did that, broke it, death cross. It's not a horizontal cut yet. There's this flash at $70. You know, I'd want to say it's going good, and that was a very generous donation, but I don't think I can't say that it's a buy at the minute for me because of where the chart is and what that suggests with regard to risk. And then that's all in the face of it could potentially go up 50%, well, just under it to $151 and change and whatnot. If it was, and I was looking at it, I'd have horizontal levels in there, alerts on them, and if I was desperate to trade it, then you know you might understand the asset and pay more attention to it. You're better placed to take advantage of those moves should they happen. So that's the truth. Like, it doesn't seem at the minute that it's screaming like that it's going to go up. Then also you're looking at like the situation with regard to Poland, then EU, obviously, and then the economic situation with America. I know Poland itself have like much better relationship with America than the general one in the EU, but at the same time, economic situation between them is like, is it going to allow for that? Right? Is it like, you know, I don't know. Right? Like, well, maybe they're trading in different places, and who knows? And maybe they get bought out or something. I don't know. It's just like trading between that hard range down there and this being much of a chart reaction, and then putting in a divergent high, and that it does put me off a little bit. Right? It's not screaming buy, and it's not really in a buy zone. So that's what I'm thinking about it. And then PKN. Would I look at a PKN? Slap it on the chart too. We'll keep an eye on it over the next while. It's got only ever goes up, this thing, but it's only been, right, okay, 20 years, mostly been an up. Okay, nothing screamingly interesting there. Potentially this trend continues. That low coming in line with this previous one does suggest that you'd find out one way or the other soon. This trend continuation there would lead to this move going on again to the horizontals above. First one here, next one there, and then this would be a 168 where to drop that in, that being confident with that low come across. That would be a good move if it got there. Do I see it happening overnight? No, $328. Currently at 80. What's up here? 320 from $80 flat. Here's your golden pocket on this retracement, which you've held to 236 after putting in a bullishly divergent low, broke through the 200 period moving average, and you've gone on to the golden pocket, and then beyond on a daily time frame, it was the 200 period moving average that caught you. It's done it twice. You've got a 50 above that, and yourself having just managed to persist within this golden pocket. No, you haven't. You've dropped without it downside, and you're bearishly divergent on the top. Will you come back to the 200 period moving average on the daily? Is that enough? Well, I wouldn't bet on it being so. I'd think likely it doesn't actually. And then I'd look to your 0.5 to confirm the trend on the first test. If it doesn't manage to hold the golden pocket, this would be where you'd next look for support. That's in at 68.92. It's at $80 at the minute. That's a significant percentage move just trading that itself. Does it look like it's potentially going to bounce off the 200, maybe not feel to get through the top of this golden pocket again, at which point it'd be putting in like the right hand shoulder of a head and shoulders. It would only be on price action because what's left on that actually? It could be a really bearish move on the RSI on the daily time frame. You have already got the head and shoulders. Measured move would take it off this. That would take you down at least to the 382 and looking left this other level of horizontal support. So that'd be where I'd put my next the move if this breaks down would be here, test this previous horizontal. If that doesn't hold, then you're hoping for an inverted head and shoulders here at the bottom of this trend and an entry perhaps around $48. If not, then I'd stay in like Woolworths. Wow, yeah, I'll have a quick look at Woolworths. Thanks, Kieran. So that's what I'd be looking at for like if it doesn't hold these levels, that being 68, and then slightly more advantageous 58. Though head and shoulders often fail, and that might not be what you're looking at. It might even just be already making it back into the golden pocket here and on for something testing up at 112. A good another 30 odd % on that thing. The range here is also not like desperately interesting. Like, well, let's trade this thing here because of that idea that it might break this 200, even if it gets up to this, like break the top of the golden pocket, and then this horizontal looking left and the one that you've put in your most recent high, that being divergent just from this test of the 200. It's not screaming it to me. Can you talk about Gartley X point placement? How low V trend change point? Talk about the Gartley X point placement. Low versus trend change point. Rowan's thinking festering corpse of odorous colon. You could talk about the X point on a Gartley, right? I could possibly do that. I could do that, but what is it? What low versus trend change? Can you just put that in different words for me, please? Thank you very much, and I'll figure it out. Yes, thanks very much. Appreciated. What was I going to do here? We're finishing up with this thing, or were we? Daily time frame was talking about these horizontal levels, potential formations. RSI was speaking about potentially the same one. Negative trend in ascendancy here, divergent on your most recent high. Oop, dodgy 4 hour time frame then. Looking left's not all that dramatic. Is there a flash up here you need to fill though? Up $107. It's that 30% move. You'd have to get back. You have done above this 200 period move. Never know. You haven't yet. On 4 hour, you'd also want to be opening and closing 4 hours above the 250 itself's up there at 87.50. So you want to be back above there. Then I would ignore this previous high and the divergence and look for that move to 107 change. But it also doesn't look that fantastic. You have got back out of the bearish control zone, but you're not managed to break the downward sloping resistance. So you would see if you drew a line across there on RSI, you've had a trend check, but that looks on the negative side on the larger time frames. 15 minutes, what's it been saying? Loads of flux on trend, failures all over the place. Perhaps that's bearish divergence too. Dodgy. So I feel like that's a little bit dodgy. Those are both a little bit dodgy, Bruley. I find Jimmy $300. What was that? Oh yeah, it was that. When GME going to $300. Well, tough question. I mean, like, you're looking now at this thinking top side of the range 255, and before then you might go back down here to test these levels at around 169, in which case, like, what is to suggest that you'll break up here? For between these two highs, 3rd of November, 23rd of November, that's 20 days, right? And let's say that price action like does something, and then for the previous low between that 22nd of October, 3rd of November, a couple of weeks. So you're looking at, what, 2 to 3 weeks for between peaks and troughs, or peaks and peaks, at which point 2 3 weeks from 23rd of November takes you into this period at the start of December. And then add another week on, and complete that all up, and probably if you were to put on some sort of extension of this trend, it would suggest something like that, right? And in and of its own Fibonacci time zones, and you've got this Fibonacci one time zone coming through here, the 1.382. Plus, when you draw on the other like time frames, you can see that you get a lot more on the charts and draw it through. You can see there are loads of reasons between the first and second week in December you might think something's going down. Is this radio trade spotting? This is radio trade spotting coming in your ears. We've also got a chart and whatnot. It's a YouTube. It's like cinema. Maybe that'd be a good thing. AMC could do that if they haven't got cinemas that are using or whatever. I could do this with me and a big screen. It would make it so much clearer and easier to present things, and it'd be a good use. Still tell it like it is, but Adam, if you've got any free space, or you want to speak to the Odeon, who they live in Edinburgh here, get the local Odeon to sort me out. It'd be well good. Red Crop, Radio Gaga, someone still loves you. Ah, he's talking about the same thing I did a while ago when drawing a Gartley. I had drawn an X point at a breakout that looked very significant but wasn't the ultimate low. He's talking about the same thing I did a while ago, right? Well, I ignored that part of the question because I don't know what that means. When drawing a Gartley, okay, I got that part. He's drawing a Gartley. I had drawn an X point. Okay, here we're getting to the meat of the matter. And you had drawn an X point, and he had asked at a breakout. But it wasn't the ultimate low. Oh, right. So a failed Gartley, right? The X to the A, right? So the X, you thought the X was the ultimate low, and it was a failed Gartley. So it didn't work out. So where we draw the X with respect to trend changes. Okay, so you wanted to know if the trend had changed. So that point, where did you draw the X? Well, and my response would be, what difference does it make? Because it's only when it gets to the D point that you confirm the harmonic is being correct, and can then retrospectively go back and judge your X point and whether or not that was a real harmonic, and whether or not it found any equilibrium out with, like, and so because these are commonly traded Fibonacci levels within it, things can look like other things. But so like the X point, how do you know if the trend has changed? Well, then you're speaking to like larger time frames and measuring trend, and so like there's loads of different ways of doing that, but it's very much a continuum. So how do you do it? Well, you take a period of time, and then you analyze like price action within it. Perhaps you use things like moving averages, or you're just going on a very basic level of support and resistance and how you've performed, or the majority of time, or where you've seen the volume come in with respect to moves. Is it starting or finishing? And then build in other confluence factors to measure the trend, like the momentum of different moves and like the strength at recent peaks and troughs, and then like how it's performed at overbought and oversold areas with regards to horizontals, and then like build in a picture of trend and see like is it actually changing. Then also you're going to have to do multi-time frame analysis and look through it and see like what does the trend say on 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily. Thank you, Jim, for professional view. It gives me a great idea on what I pay attention to. Thanks, Bruley. I'm not sure if it was good enough or not now, but I'm happy to chat about it more. Perhaps then look at it throughout the week and things, checking in it some more times, and see what we said about it. So Rocky Discord 9 a.m. EST stonks from this morning, but I need to go. Thanks for trying to answer. I am not asking the question correct. No, you are perhaps answering it correct, and with help from Corey, you've helped me understand it. It was like difficult to be on the internet reading messages, not completely understanding exactly what someone means, but you're explaining yourself perfectly well. Just bear with me. Sorry. Thanks. I'll try and answer it better. That's very generous of you to donate there. Like, so you're looking at like the trend change as to respect to like where do you draw Gartley in, because obviously Gartleys are really good for speaking to long-term trend changes and positive bullish moves. So would be ideal if, say, for example, on a weekly or a 4 hour, a weekly or like like multiple day time frame, your trend was still positive, or at least the median zone within that price action over that time frame when you put it all onto the charts, what would speak to potential revision to a mean up above where price action is at the minute, despite the daily maybe. The 4 hour, the 1 hour, all of these, like even lower down, them feeling like they were bearish and that you were really persisting in a really strong downtrend. And then you'd see where those inflection points come in, look at them with respect to horizontals, and then look at accumulation distribution, build in what we were talking about with regards to momentum, overbought, oversold, and then look at all of those things together and do absolutely fantastic technical analysis and put it in context of that particular asset and how it performs relative to its own moves. And then at that point, you could be like, yo, is this an X point? But that would have to be you defining it retrospectively anyway, because that's how you draw harmonics. You know, your X, your A, B, C, and then the D. And then you'd be measuring the strength of that move at D. If it was a reaction or reversal, taking it from the terminal candle, checking the PRZ, making sure you got your stops right, etc. Right, Rock Outcrops Discord, join it, free harmonics course. I'm going to make sure that he takes that off free, right, because it's too good. But there it is at the minute. You join the Discord, you'll get access to it. So Rock Outcrops Discord, which is behind his Patreon, www.patreon.com/rockoutcrops. So also, you might have noticed if you watched this show, he's talked about, and the links on his channel there, definitely go and check it out. Some good bargains you get at the minute if you're trading, and Black Friday's coming up, so pay attention. His show tomorrow should be not tomorrow, Friday. Go for Wolfric facts. I don't have a brain, I'm in the Discord. Even you're in the Discord. He's full of people without brains, and then other people with brains helping them as they're obliged to do so. 212.5 here in the middle, asking when's it going back to 300. In and around second week of December would be where you're most looking for that, see that sort of thing happening, perhaps even up there above it. If you do get that move, it could be a big blast off afterwards, should you be doing it in and around the right time and maintain levels around there, but not necessarily sure that's going to happen. But I am looking to these levels, this zone, right, for interest in price action. I'm looking to this low on the y-axis high opportunity areas to buy. And as I say, this is an inflection point on the x-axis, and then on a what do we really need to see to then subsequently be really excited is significant open close open on weekly timeframes, preferably above $343. So as you can see, I not perfectly answer any question there, but I do give you how the structure we would love to see for a very bullish move subsequently, with as a classical chartist might want, right? So that's that answer. What was the next one? Soul. Oh, flying through them now. It's only on KuCoin, huh? It's 2.7395. Volume today 9 million, average volume is only 3, so that's something interesting about this. On the daily time frame, you can see then it's had that move. This hasn't been around for very long, since 27th of July 2021. It broke its own previous high in September 2021. July. It's only been around since July, right? So like cryptocurrency did like that. And then since then, cryptocurrency did what? Something like that. What's it? Well, we could check, couldn't we? I can't bother just to look at this. I'll undo that. It's not been around for very long. It's only got a 50 period moving average on the daily time frame there. 12 hour, it's got your 200, positive display, positive slope. You're above your 8, you're at the top side of the Bollinger Band. You've got a move now that's taking you right up, stretch that to the top. If you open and close at the same closing price as today, 203, I mean, not closing price today, you won't open and close, but you know what I mean, when the tick over from the daily candle print, if that's at $204 at midnight tonight and then again tomorrow, then that would be very positive for this thing. 4 hour, you're being in the bullish control zone for a while. It's taking you up to this horizontal level. Positive trend change. If you drop back below your 236, it'll be divergent. So you really do want price action to keep going and the RSI to come with it. Maybe not if it's outside this. Nah, that is like divergence once, twice. That took price action back down below the 50. And that wasn't what caught it. It was this the bearish control zone here, and then the bullish divergence on the next low. That pushed you above this previous peak, touched the top of the bullish control zone, back down. Your moving average and likely bounce off the first touch on the lower side of this would speak to potential continuation. You haven't broken through there very much. Touched 1272 already. 1618 up there. That's where it's likely going to find resistance should it keep going up. It's at 3.56. I don't know what this thing's like, the fundamentals that you spoke to earlier, or the market dynamics that you touched on with regards to those statistics and whatnot. But and nor do I know the nature of this and how it compares to AVA or AVX or whatever it was you were particularly looking at. Hi, Jamie is the man. Thanks very much. Wow, I'm right at home. Cheers. Why are we talking about this? Where coincidence? What coincidence? Our brains are linked. Whose brains are linked? What's happening? So 1272, yo. 1272, 3.5, 200 period moving average below at 1.4. trend has worked out positively. You've touched off 38, turns around there a couple of times. You come back down, does it bounce here? Does it bounce here? Because the RSI, you're outside the top of the Bollinger Band. You've got 1, 2, 3 here on the 4-hour time frame. That's excellent, right? That's excellent. This 886, is that be support here as well as the fact that, like, you know, that's really quite nifty. We'll take this low in and we'll say that's our low. This is our high here. You want to hold above the 236. Your 8-period moving average coming there on 4-hour time frame might also lead to a bounce. So, you know, just because if it does get here, it does go then back up again, that doesn't mean that this level is significant out with. Anyway, right, let me just bear with it, actually. I'll stop saying that stuff because, you know, it is what it is. Then you look for confluence here. I'd say, like, probably you could take that down a little bit, right? Actually, you could move this one up a little bit, right? And then you could probably delete your Fibonacci levels there. So the picture is a little bit clearer. You could also get these one. Oops, didn't mean to do that, but it doesn't matter because all your lines get rid of that too. And you could say, like, if it does go up, you're looking at 3.5. If you get looking for a re-entry, it's at this previous high. That comes in at around 2.51. Get that. Probably it does bounce there for multiple reasons. That doesn't necessarily speak to it going up, breaking this high and going to that area, but it does probably bounce there anyway. Manage your risk. 2.4. Then 50-period moving average, this level of support, tops out the bottom Bollinger Band, 179-period moving average, high or low, that likely happens if you break those other levels. 200-period moving average will catch up quickly, and that'll obviously come in around 1.6. Another good buy. On an hourly time frame, there's your flash at 2.287. You've got your bearish divergence. You're likely, you've dropped out your bullish control zone. You're going to come back. This one's kind of obvious. It's going down 30-minute. There, you've touched the center line, persistent below the 8-period. You've got this positive trend ending. It seems like, looks like it's petering out. 15 minutes has done. You've lost it. You're below the center line in 15 minutes. You lost it. It's going to keep going down. So that's the answer to that one. And it really is the answer. And then wow. We was going to look at wow. Wide Open West Inc. Right, really struggling just to get wow on the ticker, isn't it? Communications, specialty telecommunications. Right, sound. Engages in the provision of internet, cable television, VoIP-based services to residential and business customers. Okay. Fuck. Bearish engulfing weekly candle. Broke through your horizontal level. Again with a wick below the 8-period moving average. Got a flash down at $7.31. Currently trading at $19.17. 200-period moving average is just showing up on the weekly. It hasn't been around that long. For a VoIP-based company, you wonder, right, is... So it's not that, how old is, it's not that old. And it's back at its open price. And it's got a flash down at 7.31. I mean, this one's, you know, the founders here, right? What are they doing? They're not driving any more of the trend here. This is dropping below the center line on the weekly here. It's bearishly divergent all the way up there. They're selling the shit out of this, right? They're truly selling the shit out of this, right? Probably if it drops below there, they will. That would be their entry. That rocky outcrops flash says you're going there. This would be their stop. And that's a hedge against their own positions, right? This is the people who founded this thing in 2017, right? If they're still in it, the people who originally invested in it, even if they aren't distributing their shares up here, which they likely are, this huge bearishness and the awful distribution it looks like it's happening, even if they aren't, they're probably hedging against the fact that it could go down, in which case that's a very isolated hedge against the same thing that your own stock options or whatever are based on, in which case, I don't know, like, why do we like this at the time? I didn't have anything written down about it, but I mean, I wonder, eh? Like, there's your 200 period moving average. There's a place to take profit. 179. It's also coming in at a very, very attractive level for a long if it is going up again. And then drop this Fibonacci in there. 236 is down, gives you the next level. And so, like, you've got a number of places to take profit on this short. Manage your delta. If you are going against your own, company with that sort of thing, it's not really doing anything wrong. I mean, although it is. But I don't know, right? It's allowed and whatnot. So then you've got your Bollinger Bands. You're touching the bottom side of that already, below the basis line, below the 8 period moving average. You've got a golden cross coming through here on the weekly. You'll likely test that. Daily time frame says you below the 50, hold by the 200, great, 1809. That's the area you want to look to potentially for your entry on this trade. Should it be dropping down? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, right? You'd have to manage it, the stop losses and whatnot. 4 hour time frame. I mean, you were probably bullish on this. I can't remember what happened. Don't mean to be saying something bad. Often I say stuff, right, and that I'm like, oh shit, afterwards, because I'm like, the only person that could have liked that was the founder of the company, and I hope it wasn't speaking to him. Like, wow, great name, like it. Keep going, man. Don't let the bastard grade down. 200 an average. $20, eh? $20 a ceiling on this in the short term. That's what I'm thinking on this. 1 hour time frame. Just organizing and being a content creator is crazy hard. It is. Never mind talking about tadpole games, right? After I'd already got everything planned, everything sorted, I came here to set it up because I had other responsibilities. And it took me 4 hours before we were ready to go live. So sorry. Thanks everyone with the patience. That was like, it worked well. It was a great tadpole games. Also, the TA yesterday was fantastic for GME and AMC. Not many people saw it. So, whatever. So 1880, break below that. The move looks like it'll have already started. 20 on the top side, 1979 looks like you would probably enter on it. I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't particularly think that you desperately want to short this. I'm just saying, like, what I would do if I was like, if I owned it, if I owned a company, I might take a warrant. If I owned a company, I wasn't trying to benefit myself, but I was properly respecting it as you should do and treating it like its own entity, then I would, and I believed in it as the CEO or the CSEC, what I would do would be I'd take warrants against the share price dropping to certain levels because it looks like it's gonna. And if you know better, right? I'd be taking loans and whatnot against their own share price based on like different types of warrants or whatever. Convertible notes in and around these sort of levels, and that provide liquidity boost to the company, which may still be growing. They haven't been around that long, and that. So tell me though, what does the chief executive of this thing's history? What's the experience? What does it look like he wants to do with the thing? And what are they saying to shareholders? That's what I'd be interested in knowing if I was thinking about continuation from here, because that's the question you ask when things get back to like their all-time highs or. Always, also when they got back to their opening price, and it's only been around for 5 years, whatever, or less. Sorry, 4, just about. Fishhead, $20. Thanks for the sage tea provided by this dapper young lad, and for the kinship of this fine cult of doomslayers. Cheers, all. Wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. What a lovely message. Fishhead, thanks. The fish head's brilliant. It is. And when you suck it all right out through the eyes, and it itself is freshly plucked out of the stream. Incredible. I need to have some serious suction for it, but it's beautiful. I bet I'm not too bad of a person, I think. Not too bad of a person, you think? I bet. You're not too bad of a person, I think. That's good. It's nice to have a positive self-image. It's great. Keep it right up. Keep it up. SD Kalani V. The fifth. Stop it, please. Stop what? I can't stop it. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving! You're super cool. I've met some gems people in all of this. Pam, also love her, and J Dub. Whoop whoop. Super Mom, you're saying it to Steve Kalani. I thought you were talking to me. Jeez. Now I'm going to be upset. I've got food here that got delivered. I'm going to go and eat it, possibly. If I'd done everything that everybody asked for, fish head, did you ask for something there? You were just being nice to me. That was very generous. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. We've been online for how long? Thing doesn't tell me. Doesn't tell me. But we did talk about everything we meant to talk about. Celebrating 4 months as a chimp. Thanks for the great tea and a laugh. Sarah, it's great to have you. It feels like you've been around for more than 4 months. I mean that in the best possible sense. You're good. You're great. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks. Well, obviously you have, but being a chimp for 4 months, that's what it is. Thanks. I'm driving, so I don't know if you did it. Shit, what was it? KPLT that Bed Mama Jamma had looked for. Of course then, KPLT. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, Tommy. KPLT, you'll be on the list now because we added you. Nope. Why is my list so shit? Is it down here then? Why are you down here, Roblox? Oh, for goodness sake. It is, what is it? KPLT up 5.43% on the day. Had these deep moves here. 886, we were hoping it was... Can't remember what we were hoping for here. It's resting on that horizontal level. What am I on? Oh, the weekly time frame. Daily, right? Okay, so you had this low, you had this abandoned baby at body open there, excellent. You had this bullish move today. You had a wick touch the top of the 8 period moving average. The basis line on Bollinger Band comes around at 450. Top level resistance 444 with this downward sloping line here. Likely to go above that. Look to your horizontal at 488. Then you test your 236 at 540. That being above the 55 exponential, not too bad. 50 being up here. Likely that comes in around the 382, but I don't put much emphasis on the 382. It's like the velocity with which you go through it usually is what I look to in regards to trading up to the 618. That being at 650. Do you think that's happening from this candle? You've had this wick which has filled the gap. So this is done now. We've solved this midda. Bibba Jimma, we have solved this midda. Wow. So that's great news. I mean, you could deliver the news yourself, but by MJ, you want to go and tell a gingerbread man wife that we solved the midda, we figured it out. Congratulations, we've got it. Go tell his wife. Deliver the good news. Congratulations. The poor lady, she must be in bits. So the 8 period moving average, you're looking to get up and test this to the 236. That's up at 538. This is a very potentially a good kind of daily time frame, right? 4 hour. There you've got this positive move. You've opened above the 8 period moving average. That's good. And did I just draw that on there now or what? Above there, the 50 period. If not, what? Wait, wow. If the 50 period moving average in at 474, 200 at 508, and then kick back into these sort of levels. Well, looking left, you've got this 488. That is above you at 80 cents. Okay, right. Okay, it's percentage-wise significant there. Quite good. Quite good. Can't sniff at that 20%. Then 595. Golden pocket at 640. You're going to get off of this move to get all the way up there. I'm not sure. Filling these gaps, I wouldn't put much on that until you tested certain levels of resistance and confirmed them as support. Whoops, a daisy. That was at 862. Okay. Top level resistance. You might find something around 438. en route to 488. If you break open and close above 488, you'll go to 647. And then that's a huge move from where you are at the minute. Then you got that good move down, get that. But then is this continuation? You know, is this continuation? You need to break this level significantly, eh? What's the in the 1 hour? Yeah. There's a hammer. Touch the 886 on that. Maybe even just a touch beyond it. I mean, this particular one you want to hold the golden pocket on. And you've done that there at 406. So that's good. And that's where the 8 period moving average is at in the early time frame. That matches up the way I'd like to trade. You know, that's good. I like that BMJ. Things might continue tomorrow. Those levels above 444 between there and 438. If you get above that and open and close, you're going to 4 on a 4 hour. Then you're going up to 488. You open and close above that 540. If you can get back above the 236 on this thing, then maybe you do go all the way up and fill these other gaps. And if you're going to take those trades, then these are the places to get into them, places to manage risk. Now you can look to this previous low at 366. You don't really want to be below there anymore. If it does go down there at 339, might catch it. This lever at 350 is more reliable horizontal. For whatever reason, I've drawn that on. I'd go with it until it didn't. So the 314 down here is actually like much more important than it. Is this something because of the bullet? Let's go away at my face. So if it doesn't hold that, then you're looking for a retest down at 396. That's the first next place. It might be some sort of the range, not tomorrow, but whenever it is next open, might be the range. Fishhead VERA can see a flash on 3 hour that says go back down to $9 after a while. Great, he's chatting and sorting things out. Did he say tomorrow? Ugh, no help, lols. Was that me? Yeah, I hope I was of some help. Of course it was. Couldn't have been me. So back to try to finish a sentence again. Aye, markets aren't open out tomorrow. You know, Rocky should be taking a day off and that, and I really should be. But I've got to get this course out. So, and I don't want to take any shortcuts so quick. But to time on that, and maybe not do video, but I would want to see is so. Probably I do video. You know, probably I've got an hour at least I can say hello in that if people want to show up, and then speak to maybe longer term technical analysis on those assets, or look at anything that people want to speak about that maybe I missed today, or anything anybody wants. And think that I got everything that I wrote down, I think. So, great. Yes, I'm going to go and eat a food, which is probably now cold, but it'll be lovely. Thanks so much for everybody for joining me. Great to speak to you and tough wee chats and see you all be nice to each other. And maybe around tomorrow. Maybe. It's been a much quieter week, hasn't it? I've noticed it here in the chat box. It's been a much quieter week. Those people who've been here have had a great time, but there's been much less people around. And so the likes are up. That's great. Transport fever tomorrow. Whoop whoop. Well, it'd be nice. Nah, I can't do that. Can't do that. Not for a long time. Maybe never, Maybe never. Like, I don't care about playing computer games. Like, very, 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 very much care about moving forwards. And if I don't feel like I am, I need to be in some sort of vehicle that's at least that itself is moving forwards to taking me somewhere where I might need to be doing stuff. And transport fever is like, oh, well and good, but I'd have to be trapped for some reason to actually get in a computer game. Cheers, Trace Bottom. 2 hours. Oh, crap. Okay, then, well, if you really want it, if it's for you guys and go somewhere, then, of course, really want to play with trains. Crypto really is a modern day casino. Some, like, casino, I don't know, like, casinos, though, are also full of other temptations that you don't see on cryptocurrency websites and other machinations. Like, you've been to casinos with, like, right, see if you go, especially in a big city, if you go to, like, not like, I don't know what it's like in Las Vegas or that, but in Britain, if you go to, like, British casinos, and you go with, like, really good looking people and just throw money around you for the first 15 minutes. You don't have to have that much. It's well funny. Like, try spotting, or if you're in, like, they're also great to go when everywhere else is shut, because they're open and sell booze for hours after everywhere else shuts. Handy. Never going back to reasonable end. Yep. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, Chris. Cheers, Katie. Cheers, Supermom. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Everybody must be away. Everybody must be away. So many of the regulars not around either. Where are you people? You know? What time is it? It's not that late. I did make it here before markets closed and everything, and now it's hours afterwards, so... And Tracepoint, I think, is ready to make a huge announcement. You know, don't you? Who told you? Fuck, okay. Well, seeing as he's pointed it out, might as well do it. Don't know who gave the game away, but I'll catch you one of these days. And thank you very much. Yes, the big announcement. I might as well go back to the chat screen for it. Right, are we here? Aye, excellent. So I have very big news, and I might as well put it out on the internet right now. The truth of this whole thing